DESIblitz.com.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us, season 4, Man Like Mobeen. It's been a couple of years since the last season. How did it feel when you guys kind of got the news or found out that, this is going to happen again for the 4th time?
Amazing. I felt like, yes, I get to see my family again.
We love making the show for the people and the audience that, it's managed to gather, which is crazy because it's worldwide. You can land on a flight in Delhi or you can go to America. People know the show. They'll call individuals out and say, yo, I can't believe it. So we love the way it is, but yeah, I'm going to support what Dúaa says, like to bring us all back together as a gang. Although everyone's been busy and off doing their own things, it just feels like home. It feels like you can be yourself from performance and comedically. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow up on that and be like, yeah, man, family. Family is good. And it's just good to work. Do you know what I mean? Work and be with my team up in Brum, and it's been great, to be honest. The shows, everyone loves it, so it's just great to be back with the gang.
Great, it's really good to be back, and I think doing the 4th series, we know the characters when we're writing. We know the characters better because we know these guys are such great actors, and it's really fun to write for people can deliver certain things, and we're just really grateful we get to keep doing it. That's how I feel.
And then in terms of the actual characters, being away from them for a couple of years, was it easy just to kind of integrate back into it? Basically you never left, or?
That's a very good question. I personally felt like I needed a bit. I needed to, a bit of time, because it's been a few years, do you know what I mean? So I had to just sit down and really get back into it. But then once you're in it, then that's it. So yeah, man. And then when you see the guys and you're going through the rehearsals and whatnot, it just clicks like that. So yeah,
it's crazy because a lot of people, Andy, Tolu, Dúaa, myself, anybody who's involved in the project, because this is a team project, when they ask how or why is that show so good, or why is it, I'll be honest with you, it's a basic thing which is very difficult to describe, but it's energies. I think we take the energies that we have off camera, and that all that energy and good vibes seeps on camera. And I know that sounds silly because someone's like, how are you supposed to do that? Well, it's just try and be a decent person, good to each other. We have a rule, no knobheads on set. You can't. There's got some people in here no more. But at the end of the day, you got to be a good person to catch good vibes. And I think all of us here have worked on productions where that's not the priority. The priority is we've got to get these words said by this time. Bro, this guy over here has got stomach pains. He probably needs to go to hospital because he's been holding lights and cameras all day. We don't care. Whereas on our production, we'd like to think that if there's an issue across the production, up, down, left, right, we deal with it like you would do if it was your friend or your family member. So that's all I can say, bro. It's just we try and put all that good vibes onto the screen. It's worked so far.
I forgot the question.
What is this question? I don't even think I was answering the question anymore. I don't know what it is.
I'll just let you, freestyle. It's all right. Was it easy to kind of integrate back into your character?
I feel like because a few years went by and Aqsa sort of grew up, she's now become a doctor, something that she's been working towards. I was like, oh, I have to be a bit mature now, very mature. But no, yeah, definitely. I think as soon as, like Tolu said, as soon as we all done rehearsals and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is what it feels like to be back together again.
Season 3 obviously had a massive kind of ending. We saw your characters in jail. We saw, I won't obviously say too much in case people haven't seen it, but what can we expect from season 4? I know you can't say too much, but you can give us a bit.
Bro, let me tell you now, yeah? I would tell you everything right now, okay? But obviously, for legal purposes, I think and we got stuff they can take from us now. You remember back in the day, they were like, yeah, well, you can take my shoes? Take my shoes, no problem. We would love to tell you everything. What I would say is this is probably the most like a movie that it's been. So I doubt anybody's gonna watch episode 1 and 2 and then say, oh, I'll catch the rest later on. I think you're gonna watch it in one sitting. And it's interesting because for me and Andy, when we were thinking about if we do go back and do it again, we kind of wanted to do something movie-like, right? In terms of like a special or whatever it is. It just turns out that for the way a project is funded and the amount of time you have to work on it, it was better to do it in 4 eps, right? As opposed to just one special. So that's why we did it like that. But the thing with a show like Man Like Mobeen is, I don't think it really has to follow like the traditional rules of how things are set up. So some people might be like, oh, that episode ended in a weird place. I I don't think it really matters. In this world of streaming, if it's good and people are enjoying it and they love the characters, I think they'll just come back really. So yeah.
Spoiler alert, this is the best one. in my opinion. Yeah, I feel like storyline wise, I feel like Gus, Andy have done an amazing job. Like the storyline is epic. The way it's been shot has been epic, and the actors have done a great job. So I can't wait for everyone to see it, to be honest. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think setting it in prison, which we did at the beginning of the series, it was a real challenge for me and Guz, because you've got it's all in one place. You can't go off and go to the chicken shop or go to the food bank or go to the hospital or whatever. It's all in there, so it's kind of a restriction, but actually it was a good thing, a good challenge for writing, and we got to bring back some familiar faces who we love, that everyone will, I think, enjoy seeing again. One particular familiar face who everyone always wants to see on this show, obviously, but some other returning faces. So yeah, it's the most different, I think, from the first three series as well. Partly, obviously, because Tez is gone, but it's changed the dynamic of everything. Really, the show feels different. The settings are different. It's not got that small Heath backdrop. It hasn't got the four of them outside the house. Those shots that we all sort of did a lot of in the first three series. So hopefully, people will like that it's different.
And in terms of obviously the character 8, he's not in there anymore. Was that actually quite emotional for you guys in terms of him not being there?
8 was like probably comedically my favorite character. He would come and you build moments for a character like that to shine. So getting the tail ends of jokes or coming up with allowing everyone's allowed to improv on the show, which is so important. And Tez did a wicked job at it. The only thing is, from our point of view, we try and write this to be real, and a level of realism is that any of us who's lived in a working class area, who's heard of a friend who's passed away or been killed from gang associated violence or whatever it might be, it's usually the 8 character that gets it. It's that bachara guy, it's that innocent guy, like what happened to this guy? What, he didn't do anything. And so out of all the characters, remember when we wrote that, we were like, who could it be? Could it be Mobeen? He was up for grabs as well. Could it be Dúaa? Could it be Nate? We felt, and it was right in reflection, the most impactful death would be 8's. People were sending me like Instagram videos. I was a bit concerned at first. You never know what's in them videos, but they was just crying. They was crying about the show because they were so upset. And I think with our show, if it had been anybody else, people might be like, oh, I get why. But with him, because he was so innocent, so pure in terms of how he was as a character, it's just the right thing to do.
Is that harder to do from like a comical standpoint? Because you all touch on different subjects throughout the seasons. And is that harder to do in a comical sense, but still leave the audience with like a message that you're trying to portray? I
think we challenge ourselves from day one. Myself, Andy, the whole team, Jill, Ollie Parsons, who was the initial director, is like, in real life, you find humor in the craziest moments. Like I was at a funeral recently, it was very sad, but there was an uncle doing some, I don't know what he was doing, and I ended up hearing swear words while someone was going into the ground, which was, and I was like, we couldn't help but stop laughing. We haven't even put the mitti on the guy, and he's off effing and blindly. So I think the show really represents that. It's like, you can have super serious like subject matter, but we'll always try and find a way to make a laugh. Because ultimately, like, things happen, things are sad, but everyone has to get over it. You have to move on with life,
Will we see more of the serious subjects in season 4?
Yes, most definitely.
Andy?
Yes, we will.
Mm-hmm.
They all said yeah, so yeah.
Dúaa, this is kind of specifically for you. We interviewed you before, I think it was before season 3, and we asked you kind of if you received any backlash from your role, and you said in season 1 you actually got a lot of comments.
I think the important thing was I was 15, so it got to me at the start, and then I had a conversation with my mum, and they just put it into my head like, if you do, like, in this industry, you will get backlash regardless, but you have to just be strong enough to not, like, sort of retaliate or let it get to you. And I was thinking in my head, it takes like 5 seconds to block someone who comments hate, and it takes them a good 5 minutes to make an account and write that hate comment and then keep writing it, etc. But I feel like it's made me a lot stronger, definitely, because now I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I just block them.
From a writing standpoint, how have you managed to keep the jokes kind of the same in terms of what you referenced, but still new, so the audience don't get bored of them or.
Well, I think 8 not being around is a big part of it, because 8 was always a go-to, like a sort of Homer Simpson almost, where you can go to him for a really dumb joke, or you can make him just believe the dumbest shit you can think of. So it was a challenge without him to find where we're going to get different styles of comedy, different feel to it. And obviously Mobeen and Nate are always the heart of it, and Mobeen and Aqsa, there's a sort of love there, and a lot of comedy comes out of that everyone's telling Mobeen to stop being a dick, basically, usually in different ways. But Uncle Shady is obviously always a welcome addition, and then we've got, as I said, we've got a few people who came back who gave us a kind of different energy, but hopefully a different style of comedy, it's sort of the same but different, really.
In kind of your own words or sentences, what do you think the success of the show is down to?
I think definitely good vibes, and I think definitely I would say it time and time again. I feel like Gus is, as much as he doesn't know, and as much as he probably does know, he's responsible for a lot of what's gone on, and him being able to make everyone comfortable in such an environment. Yeah, I say big ups to Gus. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got such a great cast as well. We've got so many, we do rehearsals and they make stuff better, and we change the script, and we're just really lucky to have the people we have, because you write something and you think it's okay, and then you hear them do it, and either they make it better or they change it and you change the script, and you're nothing without a good cast, and we've got a great cast.
Oh, the final word.
No, I was literally just going to agree with everything that they said. I can't put it into better words.
I don't know why you got into so much trouble at school, because and Dúaa, would you like to add to the conversation?
No.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
DESIblitz. Thank you, man.